Well, my name is Carl. Some folks might know me as Los. I've been doing hip hop since about '89, so we're talking about 16, 17 years now. I got started pretty much back in '89 by creating loops on just a dual cassette deck. Taking some of my favorite songs, little instrumental pieces, and doing the rewind and hitting the pause button and then rewinding it again and getting 4 bars and just creating a loop out of that. So that's really how I got started making beats. From there, my next piece my mom bought me is actually this one right here, and this is a digital delay. All it does pretty much is loop. It's a Digitech Time Machine 8000. Got that pretty much back in '92, and from there, I was able to make loops. And I got a 4-track. 4-track is a little cassette recorder. You can record 4 tracks. So we had 1 track for the beat, and then 3 more for the vocals. And then pretty much from there, the next big jump was over here to this baby, ASR 10 and Sonic. This is a classic right here. All the Wu-Tang stuff, all the classic Wu-Tang stuff was made on this machine right here. Timberland still uses the ASR 10 for a lot of stuff. It was pretty much the keyboard of choice of hip-hop producers between about 92 and about 97 or so. And still got a lot of samples on that. And then from there, pretty much upgraded and got Pro Tools. Pro Tools pretty much blew up in the late 90s, and it just has helped so much. It's taken music so far in the past 10 years or so. It allows you to just pretty much do anything your mind can dream of. Anything that was kind of limited as far as using a 4-track and using ADAS and stuff like that, pretty much was just blown out the box by Pro Tools. So just about every studio that you go to is going to have a version of Pro Tools, which is the music industry's software of choice. And that's pretty much what I've been using ever since about '99. And since I got Pro Tools, I've just let the studio grow. Put out an album, Melodramatic. That was back in about 2001. And then, since then I've worked on quite a few albums as well. Actually, if you look up on the wall here, Wall of Fame, these are some of the albums that I worked on over the past 6-7 years right there. Doc Flowers, classic jazz guitarist, kind of fuses the hip hop elements in there. Next up is Gary Johnson, aka Graffiti Jones. He's on some real conscious hip hop stuff. He actually has a show on PFW too, hip hop show, Friday nights, 11:30 I think. Juan Gomez, he's more along the rock pop lines, and he's type 2, real good songwriter. Imani Coppola, she actually had a video on MTV back in '99, and I was fortunate enough to work on her project back then. Hannah Spiro, she does folk singing. Next up is Melodramatic. That's the album pretty much put my heart and soul into back in 2001. The next one is kind of like a African / classic rock dad and son combo. That kid is 9 years old and he's crucial on the drums. And then that last one is some drum and bass. So you can pretty much see I'm all over the place as far as the music goes, and styles right there. And you can see the poster over here too. That's a classic right there. Back in '95, Sugarcane Palace was the place to go. Sunday afternoons, matinee show, Backyard Band and Young Ecstasy just about every Sunday for almost 2 years. And a lot of great shows happened back then. So that's some of my history as far as projects that I worked on. Since then, I also been teaching production lessons. So I teach production classes on the weekend on Saturdays. So anybody interested, hit me up. And also I teach Pro Tools classes too. So if you're interested in learning software, hit me up. And then during the week, Monday through Friday, I'm doing production and engineering, helping out other folks put together their projects the best way possible. And just try to, vary, do all types of music, and So that's pretty much my story there. So we're talking about why DC hasn't blown up yet. It's a lot of different variables with that question. I think part of it is that a lot of artists, they're kind of waiting for, a record label to just rescue them and, drop out the sky and just pick them up and fly them off to, wherever. But it doesn't really work like that. If you're in DC and you're making music, you really gotta grind and you really gotta put it out there on your own. It's not gonna be a record label that's just gonna come along and just, change your world around. That's not the way it works. You gotta really hustle, you gotta get out there, you gotta be doing it pretty much for years and years in most cases, till things start rolling around and you can start making some money off it, because it took me damn near 10 years to really start making some money at all, in the music industry at all. So, it's just saying that, keep at it and, get the do-it-yourself attitude. If you're trying to get your stuff out there, that's what you gotta do. You gotta do it yourself. You gotta be out there, on the corner, passing out flyers, trying to sell the tape, walking up to cars, whatever it takes. It's pretty easy to get your stuff in the stores too. All you gotta do is just go to the record stores. You can go to Tower Records, ask to speak to the manager. Once you get your CD manufactured, make sure it has a barcode. It's nicely shrink wrapped, and it looks nice. You got a good presentation. And then you can get it up in the stores. All you gotta do is talk to the manager, and usually they'll give you a form to fill out, and they'll pretty much sell it. And from there, they'll go ahead and put it in the stores. And whenever you sell a CD, they'll mail you a check. Another good place for new artists is a place called CD Baby. If you haven't heard about it, then definitely check it out, cdbaby.com, because what they'll do is for, I think it's something like $30, it's not much. You can give them your CDs and they'll actually put it on towerrecords.com. They'll also put it on bestbuy.com. They'll put your stuff on iTunes also. I think if you go through them for digital distribution, you can get your stuff on iTunes also. So if you're a new artist, you gotta utilize the internet. But as far as DC as a whole blowing up, I think part of it is that DC hasn't truly developed its identity yet. When we're talking about hip hop music, the South definitely has the crunk, screwed and chopped, and every place has a specific style. So people gotta keep on doing original stuff. Don't come out sounding like somebody else or trying to do this and that because it's hot, because all you'll ever be is second best. You gotta be original and put the elements that exist right here, because that's something that nobody else can do.